Hi guys, so in reading today, we are going to be focusing on word choice. This is going to kind of be the last day that we're going to specifically talk just about poetry in general. And I feel like word choice is really important because especially with poetry, word choice and the words that the poet chooses really impacts a lot of how we look at a poem. All right, so while we're reading, we're just going to be looking at what words the poet chooses because we're going to focus on how word choice influences the mood of the poem. And so mood is one of those things that I feel like we get a little confused with tone, but they're very different. So mood is how we feel as we're reading a poem. All right, so when I'm doing this, I'm trying to think of, what words is the poet using that really influences how I feel about something, or how I feel about maybe the topic they're covering, or really, it could just be how I feel as I'm reading. All right, so, looking at the word choice, poets use specific words to evoke an emotion in us. Sometimes that's more of a positive emotion and sometimes it's more of a negative emotion. So, we need to look for, detailed words or specific words, or even just like a combination of words or a phrase that really, kind of gives us this feeling. All right, so for the poem today, for my modeling, it's another short one and it's by Langston Hughes again. So I wanted to kind of clarify Langston Hughes. He was a very popular poet, has a lot of popular poems, or at least well-known ones. He's also a writer, and he's very well known for his kind of portrayal of Black life in America in the 20s. That's when there was a lot of civil rights issues still going on. Kind of all the way through the 60s. So, he's a real prominent writer, and he was really, important when he was kind of shaping, the arts during the Harlem Renaissance. All right, so, a lot of his poems have to do with civil rights, or again, like Black life in America during that time. So, I want you to keep that in mind as I'm reading this poem. And, kind of think about, based on what he's saying, how is he kind of feeling? All right. Or what is he trying to get me to feel? All right. So this poem is called I Too. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. Then, besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I, too, am America. All right, so very short poem. There's actually not a lot of words. You notice his stanzas, all of the lines are very short, especially when we get down here. Some of them only have, 2 to 3 words in it. All right, so remember, I was focusing on word choice. So that could be looking at the individual words or the phrases. All right, so I'm thinking about, what parts of this poem really kind of evoke this emotion in me. All right, and so, one of the things we need to go back and do is reread poems to see if we can kind of look through this lens of word choice. So I too sing America. I'm the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Right, so I think those 3 lines really stand out to me because it's kind of not what I figured would happen. All right, they send them to eat in the kitchen. You would think that would have some like a negative emotion, but he laughs and eats well and grows strong. So he kind of has, I think, like this hopeful, emotion, or that's kind of what I feel. This hopeful and kind of almost like he knows something that they don't. All right. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. then besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. All right. So again, I kind of get that, this hopeful and almost like this like pride, right? Like nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen, you know? So, you know, you definitely feel like that pride feeling in this stanza here. Right? And then you can kind of see it down here. They'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. You know, again, it kind of goes back to what I said up here. It's almost like he knows something that they don't yet. You know, he knows how awesome he is. He knows how beautiful he is, you know, despite how they think of him because of his skin color. So, you know, it kind of goes back to the, you know, he kind of almost has a secret that people don't understand yet, but they will, you know, and he's like, just wait. All right. So, like I said, what I did is I was specifically focusing on the word choice and what emotion kind of I felt as I was reading this. All right. And so you can see, you know, there's probably going to be more than one emotion. It's not going to just stay the same across, especially with poems. You'll see different emotions. So the one I have you guys looking at today to look at word choice, I actually put a video up there as well as the lyrics to it, because they're going to be these three girls who are reading this, and you could really feel the mood with how they're reading it. So if it's easier for you to go through, you know, the words, awesome, do that. But give that video a listen too, because it's very powerful, and you know, with the emotion of that poem. So I would probably look at both, and then you're going to be doing exactly like I did. You know, what words or phrases do you see in this poem, and then what emotion do you kind of feel from it? All right, so again, let me know if you guys have any questions. And like I said, tomorrow we'll kind of get into something different with poetry, instead of just purely looking at poetry itself.